That concludes our witnesses' opening statements, and we'll move into the question and answer portion of the hearing. I'm going to begin with questions. I recognize myself for 5 minutes. Mr. Lowe, as we heard last week, everyone on this committee is supportive of balanced energy efficiency measures. Do natural gas restrictions reduce energy consumption?
Do natural gas restrictions reduce energy consumption? No, I would say, in fact, in the case of Section 433, it is likely to increase energy consumption for the federal government. The direct use of natural gas is about 91% efficient. And electricity is about 34%. So you have that 34% line loss. Using direct use of natural gas into a federal building is the most efficient use for it. It is also the most reliable way for that energy source to be delivered.
Well, thank you. Ms. Cleary, the look-back provisions in EPCA are a poor mechanism to initiate energy efficiency standards in home appliances, you mentioned in your testimony. How difficult is the 6-year timeline for a company's supply chain?
Thank you for the question. Certainly having the constant churn of regulations is challenging, but it's also challenging for DOE. Regardless of who's in the White House, what we've seen is that DOE rarely meets its deadlines, and this is not actually helpful toward efficiency savings either, because it means that the rules aren't getting done on the timeline that EPCA is setting forth. So that's why we're looking for changes to this provision so that manufacturers will have the time that's needed, consumers will be able to retain choice, and DOE will be able to focus its efforts where there are opportunities for savings.
And are companies and consumers consistently able to realize benefits within that 6-year period?
The 6-year period is actually the period during which DOE cannot look at additional changes. So it's actually a longer period that manufacturers do have and consumers have to realize those benefits. That said, that review is often taking place at a time before products that meet the standard before are on the market. So it's challenging for DOE to even know what those improvements were when they're setting the next round of standards. It's hard to know the impact on consumers when setting the next round of standards.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Mr. Tebbenkamp, in your testimony, you're talking about building codes. A couple of questions right off the bat. You know, when you talk about especially the IECCs designed as a model for state and local governments to consider, how often are they really looking at the local? You know, are we looking at a model that everyone in the country is supposed to live by, or do they ever take into consideration what's happening out there in the real world, in the local communities?
That's a great question, and the code book is about that thick, and it comes out every 3 years. So for a municipality to adopt that code every 3 years it's just not possible. It takes time for stakeholders and everybody to review that and analyze it and see what is fit for their area and to amend or strengthen certain parts to make it work for their area. I think we can all agree that American families deserve safe, strong, and efficient homes, but we need a better pathway forward that gives local control, encourages innovation, and keeps homes within the reach of Americans. That's why, you know, I would urge Congress to let builders build and let local governments work together with their builders to make sure that those codes are accurate for their area, rather than have the federal government incentivize them to adopt something that's supposed to be a one-size-fits-all.
Yeah, my last 40 seconds, when you're talking about what happened in the Kansas City area, you said that Kansas City's not received a single dollar from the Department of Energy for adopting the code, yet the local housing production has been severe. Is it also a situation out there, and I've like about 15 seconds left, Is it another situation out there that it's harder for builders out there just to be able to understand what the code is, so they just to comply with it?
I don't think it's understanding it. I think it's just there is so much complexity to it. To make sure that you can comply with it, you can either go prescriptive or performance, and most go with a performance method to comply with that code.
Well, thank you very much. My time has expired, and I